This is absolutely my favorite season of the year, my favorite time of the year, just the wintry, festive Christmas season, and it's that time we're all working on our year-end list. So many 2025 albums, EPs, stuff that I'm going through. I'm sure you are as well. I wanted to take a break and do something just to take a breather and do a random video. But, you know, for those who don't celebrate Christmas, or maybe you celebrate a different holiday, I wish you nothing but the best this wintry season. Now let's talk about some classic black metal. Oh, hi there. My name's Jorge. I grew up in the 80s and I used to love getting into trouble. I have always been a friend of felines. I take my faith very seriously, attending school at a Christian college, and I've been a music fan my entire life, only recently finding out that I really like extreme metal. And I want to invite you to journey with me on my discovery of extreme metal. What is up, folks? Welcome back to A Christian Collects Death Metal. It's your pal Jorge here, back at it again. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got some recent pickups that I just want to go through. These are all older black metal titles, mostly 90s stuff, but there are a few that, like in the early 2000s. In my opinion, they're all classic black metal albums. So I just recently picked up Panzerfaust by the Darkthrone boys from originally 1995. I think it was recorded in 94, an album that is dedicated to Satyr of Satyricon. So that's cool. I also heard that Varg, old Uncle Varg, did some vocals on this album. I thought it was Under a Funeral Moon, but apparently he did do the lyrics for Quintessence on this album. So, you know, one of the greatest songs on this album. Classic. This was the last one from Darkthrone, the albums that I personally wanted in my collection. Some of their later stuff I do enjoy, but it's really about those early albums. So this is the 30th anniversary edition, and it comes on this like white and black splatter variant where it's sort of like minimal white, almost looks like galaxy type variant. But yeah, and this is another thing. So I always keep my hype stickers, I always cut them out of the plastic and slide them back down on the back side. So 30th anniversary edition. This says it's a restored master. Wouldn't that be a remaster? I guess not. Maybe just the original master tapes were restored and put to vinyl. Can somebody out there tell me the difference between a remaster and a restored master? I'm really curious about this. Apparently, verified in 2 interviews with Fenry, all the instruments are credited to him on this album. Obviously, Nocturno doing the vocals, but all of the instruments, including strings, yeah, Fenry. Speaking of crazy Uncle Varg, we have his Draugen Rarities from 2005, I believe. I think this is the 2019 reissue, back on black. The sound quality on this, it's like Nathan's Madrigal level of just bad sounding. You know, it's a comp of, like, you could say Burzum greatest hits. Basically what this is, you have like Dunkelheit, Spell of Destruction. The only thing on here, there's no Jesus Todd on this one, but it's a double LP, and yeah, it just has most of his hits, right, if you could call it that. But the sound quality is so poor. You know, Burzum production was never the greatest to begin with, right? It's terrible, and it's like even more so on this. I don't know, maybe this was just like the raw cuts, the original, you know, rough cuts. I'm not really sure, but there you have it. Draugen Rarities. Next up we have Infiltration, Downfall, Death from 2008. This is probably the most recent entry on the list, except for one other. There's one other. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're one of those early bands. They started in 2005? 2001? I think so. Something like that. Early enough. War metal. You know, I have some of these war metal albums. I enjoy them a fair deal. You know, and maybe you guys can help me understand what exactly is war metal. In my opinion, it's like, because a lot of this sounds like death metal, right? It's so, you know, it's just like, but it's not blackened or Black Death. There's something else to it. You know, there's more. It's a better production, right, than what you normally see in black metal, slightly. There's more presence of low end and down-tuned guitars, right? That mixed with black metal, I think, would be war metal. But, you know, I don't know. It's just a chaotic sounding, you know, noisy mess. And it's just really, really enjoyable to get through. Some people, maybe you got to be in the mood for it. I enjoy it a fair deal. What do you think of Revenge? Infiltration, Downfall, Death. Norwegian 90s black metal from 1996, Satyricon, Nemesis, Divina. This is probably the only I'm not a Satyricon fan. I do like this album. I guess their one, I think the debut was at Medieval Times, Dark Medieval Times. I guess that was okay, but it's just not a sound that I'm really into. However, there's an exception with this album. It's classic for a reason. I don't particularly care for the artwork on it. It just doesn't feel very black metal to me. I'm just nitpicking at this point. So this is Moonfog Productions. This right here is a replica, right? It's just a fancy name for a bootleg, I guess. This album is hard to find. It's not easy to find, so yeah, you know, I went ahead and grabbed the boot of it, or replica, and it sounds great. It comes with all kind of stuff. It comes with a huge poster and everything, and it was sourced, not from the original master tapes, but it was the original recording. So they did a remaster at one point. That's not what this boot is. It is the original. I mean, of course, it's digitally sourced, I would assume, obviously. But it was from the original Nemesis Divina recording. So that's cool. It sounds great. It's just that type of black metal. Melodic tendencies going on. It sounds great. I do like it. Satyricon, Nemesis Divina. 2010, the most recent entry, we have Blood of Kingu, Sun in the House of the Scorpion, their sophomore album. This was repressed by Nuclear War Now. It's like a red variant. This is a band that, I guess originally with Candlelight Records, back in the day, about 15 years ago. Osmos handled a few of the reissues, and then, yeah, NWN recently reissued this. We have Sumerian, Egyptian, mythological themes going on. Apparently, Kingu was a god who was killed by the god Marduk, and his blood was used to create mankind. So there's that. Very, very interesting black metal. It's an interesting sound because they do things that normally you wouldn't see in black metal, but you know what? Black metal gets away with that sort of thing. It just does whatever it wants. It's a very enjoyable listen. I'm going to have to go back and listen to some of their other stuff, their debut, and I think they have a few things beyond this. But this is a great sounding album right here. What do you guys think? Have you heard it? Do you know these guys? Blood of Kingu, Sun in the House of the Scorpion. We're going to end things with some more Norwegian 90s black metal. 1997? Yeah, Blizzard Beast by Immortal. This was, well, I guess there's one more album from them that I'd like to have. I have all the ones that I want. Battles of the North, The Heart of Winter, Pure Holocaust. I have everything. The debut, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. I need to track that down. This is a reissue from Osmos. I've noticed reissue a lot. It's like, there's always an anniversary edition, new variants, almost every year. I think this is the 2025 reissue. So very, very recent, right? Yeah, classical Norwegian black metal, very cold sounding, abrupt ending songs. It just, this is a mean one right here. Very, very enjoyable listen. You can't go wrong with Immortal. We all know that. Blizzard Beasts.
Mountains of light, so rightly I am wishing these mountains that I love.
Look, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. What do you think of these albums? I'm sure you already have them. What are some other old ones that I should pick up? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always curious to hear what you have to say. Jorge, a Christian who collects death metal, signing off. Be blessed.